Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Energy Talk podcast. This is a bonus episode, and you're joining me here, Olubumi, Olajide, and the rest of the gang can jump in with introductions for themselves.
Hi, Jennifer here.
Hi, also here. Hi, guys.
Yeah. So this is the last bonus episode for season 2. It's been quite all right so far. We've been on this for about 5 or 6 months now, since January, and almost 20 episodes later, we have reached the conclusion of the season. So it's been quite an exciting one so far. Don't you guys agree?
Yeah, I think we touched on pretty much different things. We touched on different things this time around.
Kind of went really quick as well, though.
Oh, Olu doesn't think he did go quick. He was thinking it was a lot longer than that.
Yeah, it felt really long. So anyway, we just want to say thank you to everybody who has supported the series. It's done much better than I personally expected. We've kind of doubled our number of downloads from last season, and it's very humbling to have gotten this far. And I just want to say thank you to everybody who has supported us, sent reviews, kind messages, feedback, and all our amazing guests that have helped us get this far. So we stand on the shoulders of a lot of very good people, and we do not take that for granted here at the Energy Talk. So thank you everyone for listening, and you've been part of this journey in a very big way.
Yeah, it's exciting. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. And I think we have some major pluses as well, which has been exciting. Led to ratings and rankings and an increasing number of plays. Yeah, it's just been an exciting past 6 months, and we're really looking forward to the next 6 months. Yeah.
I think I'm the only one that's not fully... I don't say that I am not grateful, but I think that the numbers are still very small, though. But
yeah, definitely. I think it's fair to say there's still a lot of room for growth. I think that's the nice way to put it.
Progress is good progress, people. Any progress is good progress. Like,
we're definitely
every single one extra that's still good. And growing organic as well is something that's so important to appreciate.
Yeah, especially that, because if you haven't noticed, we haven't had any sponsors. So we've been creative in order to keep things as low cost as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the word.
Yeah, and I think that's one thing, because not a lot of new things are starting off with just being organic with the followership and engagement. But yeah.
So just as a final hurrah, before we go on to announcements for what we have planned for the next few weeks, we've had 5 episodes since the last time we had one of these bonus conversations. So let's just go through which episodes kind of stuck out to us personally. So I'll let Jennifer go first. So Jennifer, out of the last 5 episodes we've had, which ones have really inspired you or touched you in a specific way that you just want to share with us today?
wow, you put me on the spot there. I would say all of them, because like I said, they all touched on different things, honestly, from transition to cleaner energy, to women in energy network, to energy access. So I would say pretty much everything, honestly. I can't even name one really. I don't know, except you literally have a question for me pertaining to one of them, then I can answer. But if I should pick one, I'm sorry, I can't. I don't know. Sorry.
Okay, what about you?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying, though, but I think, like, for me, every bunch of episodes, there's always that one person that, like, really stands out. And we had a lot of great guests this season, which have been exciting to learn from. But for me, most inspiring was probably Promise. I think I'm not going to say his last name because I'm not going to murder that. But yeah, Promise was fantastic. Yeah, Promise was fantastic because it was just kind of like a breath of fresh air, seeing another young person in the energy space intentionally going after sustainable energy conversations and just like real conversations on energy. So I think he's actually the president of petroleum engineers in Imperial College in London. And he was explaining about like his story and, you know, engagement in the energy sector, and obviously getting a scholarship coming from Nigeria, and then obviously getting all these recognitions. And I just think like having more stories from people from developing nations who have basically intentionally paved their way out into such a competitive, almost highbrow industry, something that's commendable. Another person is Rebecca Shirley. I think she's so cool. So her conversation was actually very nice, and I think they just turned 5, and she was saying how there was this situation of how people obviously like still doubt the realities of like energy access. I think, was it 2020 that's supposed to be the year, or was it 2015, where more than half of our population, up to 2050, 2030, my bad, where, you know, would have met our electricity, our energy goals. And it's just alarming how that's 10 years away and we're still having conversations about things we should be doing rather than looking at things that we've already started doing. And it's a bit scary. Like she identified how just people are not seeing it as much as an issue as we should be. You know, like there's so many conversations on energy and sustainability and power for the less privileged and power for everybody, but I just feel like the world isn't reacting as quickly as we should be. So that was like a really big take out for that from this cohort of episodes that I found quite inspiring. But amongst all, like Jennifer said, they were all pretty great. And thank you to everyone who came on and were a guest in the episodes for the Energy Talk.
Yeah, definitely. And I actually have to kind of echo most of what you said, especially the episode with Promise. So the episode with Promise is one of the few opportunities we have where we highlight somebody, a young person in the energy community or the climate community. The last time we did something like this was Vanessa Nakate a few months ago. It's really great to hear that kind of story, because I think most of our audience can kind of relate to him, relate to getting out of school, being confused about what to do next, and then being intentional to get to the next step and to see the big challenge you're kind of driving towards, and understand that there's lots of opportunities to solve problems, basically, and to step up and to put yourself through the process, to prepare yourself and to keep preparing yourself over and over again, and keep proving to yourself that you want to be here and you're willing to do the work. I think that's really inspiring. And a lot of feedback came back from the episode in particular. A lot of people really related to it and really shared most of what Promise was saying. And, you know, to be honest, I was actually a bit nervous about putting that episode out, because Promise is obviously, he's a petroleum engineer and he's the president of the Petroleum Society of Petroleum chapter in Imperial. So I was concerned that people might not really like that so much because he's speaking so much about the oil and gas industry. But to my surprise, and I'm surprised every single time I put out an episode, even though we talk about different sectors every week and we kind of mismatch everything, people still kind of find something to relate to. And this goes back to the bit about story that also I brought up. It's been almost 1 year now that I've been running the podcast, and something I see again and again is the episodes that do really well, the episodes that really connect with people and people come back with feedback, are the episodes that have stories that people can connect to. And the challenge for us now is, how do we present those stories and make them authentic to the people that are telling them, and how do we back them up with actual facts? And it's a good challenge to have, because it really shows the kind of responsibility we're carrying right now. And also going back to the episode we had with Rebecca Shirley from Power for All, the Chief Research Officer for Power for All, spoke about why energy access is important. And that is another really, really important episode. And it's something that we talk about again and again, and I think that we will always keep talking about it. So it's something that we're always going to be talking about, because we have to realize there's still lots of people around the world who don't have this access to energy, and it's still a lot of stories are still there that haven't been told. And until we reach that point, as also said, it's 10 years away, the Sustainable Development Goals, SDG 7 to be specific, about providing clean energy to everybody around the world. It's 10 years away, and it's not looking like we're going to get there. And the fact is that so many people, especially in Sub-Saharan Africa and some parts of Southeast Asia, are still struggling with lack of energy access. So it's a real privilege to always have the opportunity to talk about these things, and something that always makes me really happy that we make it a focus in what we're doing going forward. So thank you again to everybody who supported us, because honestly, we won't be able to do it without all of you, to be honest. So kind of moving on to our season 3 plan. So we actually have a lot of things that we're trying to do. We're trying a lot to improve the podcast and improve our presentation and put ourselves on a higher standard of accountability and presentation as well. I think I already said that. So we're working on an advisory board. We're having some people we're going to invite to join our advisory board for season 3. And it's something that we're currently working on, and we're really excited to announce the names of the people who would be on the advisory board for the next season. And some of the people you already know, they've been guests of the podcast before. And yeah, so we'll be working very closely with them to launch season 3 and hopefully start getting some sponsors involved with the show. It's something that we've been talking about for quite a long time, but wanted to make sure that we had the structure in place to properly manage it. And I think we've reached a spot now. We are going to celebrate our anniversary sometime next month. So I think this is the right time to bring on sponsors. And I hope you guys understand, if we have ads in some of our episodes in the future, that it's necessary for us to grow. And we really want to do more. And honestly, that's the only way we can do those things, if we have more resources. So yeah, any of you want to jump into that?
Yeah, definitely. I'm really looking forward to obviously having all these fantastic people in the energy and climate change space on our advisory board. And I think also, I think most people are aware of the fact that for anything to grow, you need to feed into it. And technically, that's what we're trying to get out to. So to be able to create and bring to our audience and ourselves, the best content, like activities and engagements, we have to have a broader and bigger support network. And yeah, I think that's what this next stage for us is going to be about, really just trying to build up the conversations and trying to build up engagements and trying to reach out to more people to hear more stories. And for us to be able to do that, we need the support, we need the sponsorships, we need the advisory board, and most of all, we need our audience. So yeah, really looking forward to this next chapter.
So something else that I'm actually very excited about. So this is our next project that we're working on. So during the off season, while we're preparing for season 3 and getting everything in place, we are going to start a new project that we've been planning for quite a while now, and we're talking to a bunch of people about, and it's called the Campfire series. So this is just a way for us to connect more deeper with the people who listen to the podcast and to the broader energy community. So we're going to be targeting some young professionals in different sectors of the energy industry. So we're going to be speaking with people in oil and gas, renewables, nuclear, climate change, policy research, from any sector, students, young professionals. And we're just going to be talking with them in a very comfortable setting where they can express their experiences, their fears, and their ambitions for what they want to get out of the energy industry, where they see the transition going, and more importantly, what they can do to help get us there. Because I believe that everybody has a part to play in this, and that's really what the whole goal of this is. So it's called the Campfire series. It's going to run for about 2 months after this episode ends, while we prepare for season 3. And it's just going to be an opportunity for people to jump in. So we have no necessary requirements, as long as you are a young professional or a student in the energy industry or in the climate space sector, or even if you know nothing about it, absolutely, and you just want to jump into the conversation, we'll also be happy to have you. So there are 2 ways you can get involved with the project. We'll be inviting some people personally from our side. We have some people we would love to speak to and get involved with the project. Or if you like the idea and you like how this sounds, just email us and we would talk about it, and we'll be more than happy to have you on the project. So it's going to be a very long project, and it's going to be very taxing. Lots of interviews back to back for us, and hopefully we get it out in a decent frequency. But I believe that it's a good way to learn about the people who listen to the podcast. And I don't want us to make a product that nobody really wants. So it's also about market research and really positioning ourselves well for season 3, because we want to make something that you guys really love, that people truly connect to, that we have stories that come from different parts of the world, that show you new perspective about the energy industry, that teach you new things. And we want you to enjoy learning these things as I enjoy these things, and Jennifer and Owosa enjoy these things. So it's tough sometimes, but we believe with proper presentation, it's possible, and we truly believe that this project kind of sends us in the right direction towards that as well. Anybody else wants to add any input to that?
Yeah, on the call of being excited for the Campfire series, just if you have anyone who you think would be a good fit for us to speak to or hear from, you can send us their names or their links, or get them to email us as well. So if there's anyone out there in the space that you think should be on our podcast, it would be nice to hear from you and them, or through you. Either way, get in touch. We're so excited to share the amazing stories from young people making amazing difference in the industry.
And I also want to add that this is going to be very inspiring, because it's one thing to set out to do something, and then when you look outside and see that there's just no one pretty much that would understand what you're doing, or is not doing something alike, it kind of gets you demotivated in some sort of way. So when you get to people of the same age range as you are, doing things, motivation or not, it kind of it stirs up the fire in you. So we're hoping that this is one of those things that get to do those kind of things to you, keep you awake at 5 a.m. in the morning or 3 a.m. Gearing the fire, telling me, yes, you can do it, I can do it, as long as they have done it. And I think it's also another way where we can also communicate with them, because at the end of the day, it's literally leaving the platform open where, this guys, I have an idea that can work better in a way where you think that, okay, I've done something, I have mind I think would be a lot better than what you're doing. You can obviously share your information with them. So it's literally opening up the floor to initiate engagement between we, our audience, and they as guests as well.
Yes, definitely. And one of the reasons why I'm really particular about having this target young people is because we've seen that the majority of your audience do fall into that category, either students or young professionals in the energy industry, and they're the ones that really connect to the stories we tell. And I think there are lots of reasons for that. And if you're listening, you probably know a few of these reasons as well. When I started this podcast, it was 6 months after my graduation. I was completely clueless. I was a petroleum engineer. I was applying for jobs. And I just felt really overwhelmed about the energy industry. And really, it's been quite an experience learning all these things I've learned so far. And I've had the opportunity to meet really amazing people, including Jennifer and Owosa here, who I've only met because I started the podcast and I put myself out there. And I realized that not everybody would have the time, not everybody would have the commitments to do all the things that I had to do to kind of get to the knowledge base I am now. And the truth is, not everybody should have to do that. It should be much easier. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to make it as easy as possible for you to get involved in the energy industry, get involved in the climate space, start learning the things you need to learn, and start figuring out the places that you can have the most impact in your personal life and in your career as well. So that's really what we're really aiming for. And we are so excited. I am so excited for this. It's something that keeps me up at night working, and hopefully it turns out really great. So we have a lot of high expectations for this, and hopefully we deliver on our sides. And if you are considering this, if this sounds good, push past your fear. I promise you, we're very nice people. Come have a conversation with us. Come join the Campfire project, and you'll be very happy that you did. There are lots of young people like you who are in this industry, and they will get inspired by your story, and you will get inspired by theirs. So it's a privilege to be in a position where we can connect people like that, and I can only see good things coming out of this. So this will run for 2 months or more while we prepare for season 3. So season 3 is scheduled to start either in early September or late August. We will keep you updated about the dates. But while we work on that, the Campfire project will be a very good way for us to build a real community around the work we're doing and get to know you guys better. So get involved. This is us sending direct messages
That
to
was
you.
a very convincing. We're very nice people.
I mean, we are though. I mean, we are very nice
We
people.
are very nice people. We don't have to say it.
Okay, that sounded sketchy. Okay, yeah. But we are nice people. I promise you, we are very nice people, and we really want to hear from you guys. So yeah.
We really do want to hear from you guys, though, and not only for ourselves, but for other audiences as well, to get inspired and just know, like, you never work alone. I miss football, but yeah, it's just to put that out there. So yeah, we're super excited, and as Olu's mentioned, it takes a particular kind of dedication to obviously get into a space that none of us already thought about energy at high school or anything. You go into it not really sure of what you're going to learn, but more of with an interest. And as Liz mentioned, I think it's a dedication to want to learn about such a niche industry that's kind of gotten us this far. And we really hope we get to not only inspire people to come along on the journey, but also to learn a thing or two, even if it's not your 40th at all. So you may be thinking, energy is not for me. I have no clue what they're talking about. But that's more reason why you should probably listen to one of our episodes so you can have a clue.
Sure. Very well said.
Even if you don't get to listen to anything at all, like on this particular, on the podcast, like this particular season or this particular segment is I think it's not even restricted to just energy folks, anybody really, because it's definitely going to inspire you get. So I mean, it's going to take me back to that podcast we had where she was saying that, I mean, the guys just went on there because he just wanted to see, and then they ended up blaming her because she got them into the hotel, and now they're so engrossed, and then they don't know how to leave. I can't remember.
Yeah, that was from Sanjana Paul's episode.
Sanjana.
Yeah, so you can imagine. So this is pretty much going to be something like that, because it's not just for energy folks. It's maybe I have an idea that's not even related to this, but because I can see someone in my age bracket doing something and taking up the baton and saying I can run with this, it definitely would inspire you. So if you have a friend, tell a friend to tell a friend, share with your friends, regardless of if they are into anything energy related or not. I mean, as long as you have power in your house, you are low-key into energy. So
yeah, very true. So yeah. So I hope our pitch landed successfully, and with all of us kind of pitching in, I hope we're able to convince you that you should get involved in this. So once again, thank you to everybody who has joined us. It's been a wonderful season. We've met so many great people from around the world, and you guys have been with us all the way. So thank you so much again. And it's been wonderful being your host. It's been wonderful having this team together to put together this podcast and to plan for the future the way we are doing right now. So thank you guys so much. I can't really say that enough because we'll probably be here all day. So thank you guys so much, and it's been great. So
thank you.
Yeah, you guys can say your goodbyes as well until the next time we meet.
Yeah, bye guys, thank you so much, and see you in the Campfire series.
Bye
everybody. Have a lovely week.